Your boss is already testing you, not during your performance review, but in the moments you wouldn't notice at all. In all those meetings, when you were under pressure, when the room shifts. Those moments aren't random, they're diagnostic. Before anyone hands you authority, they assess whether you can carry it without shrinking. Promotions rarely fail because of skill. They fail because of posture, because of tone, because of how quickly someone retreats under friction. Over-explaining, defending, softening, laughing off pressure, signals. And once those signals are seen, you're not corrected. You're categorized, managed, kept where you are. Today, I'm going to break down the 5 authority tests your boss uses before deciding whether you advance or stay exactly where you are. By the end, you'll know exactly where you're signaling weakness. The first test is simple, and you get interrupted not once, repeatedly. Mid-sentence, midpoint, mid-assertion, and your boss doesn't stop it. They watch. Because interruption isn't just poor etiquette. It's a pressure point. When someone cuts you off in a meeting, it forces a decision. Do you reclaim the floor, or do you retreat? Most people retreat. They smile. They say, "Sorry, go ahead." They soften their tone when they resume. They rush the rest of their point. That signal is louder than your idea. Authority isn't about volume. It's about whether your presence holds under disruption. If you immediately give up space, you communicate something. Not intentionally, but clearly. That your position is negotiable, that your voice can be displaced, and once that pattern is observed, it doesn't get corrected. It gets remembered. A boss assessing promotion potential is watching for this exact thing. Can you hold your ground without escalating? Can you calmly say, "Let me finish," and continue without defensiveness? Or do you fold under friction? Interruption is rarely about the content. It's about containment. If you can't hold the floor in a meeting, you won't be trusted to hold authority in a higher role. That's the first test. The second test happens when your idea is challenged. Not attacked, challenged. Your boss pushes back, questions your reasoning, raises a flaw, or plays devil's advocate in front of others. This isn't about whether your idea survives, it's about whether you do. Pushback is a stress signal, and your reaction tells them everything. Most employees shift immediately, they over-explain, they stack more justification than necessary. They rush to prove they're not wrong. You can hear it in the tone. The speed increases, the certainty drops. That's not debate, that's defensive posture. Authority does something different. Authority absorbs friction. It clarifies once, then holds position. No panic, no emotional leakage. If you crumble under mild resistance, you won't be trusted with real resistance. Promotion isn't about agreement. It's about stability under disagreement. When your boss challenges you, they're not just testing your logic. They're testing your nervous system. Can you remain composed while your position is pressured? Or do you signal insecurity the moment your idea meets friction? That moment decides more than your slide deck ever will. That's the second test. The third test happens quietly. You contribute to a project, you build part of the strategy, you solve a key problem. Then in a meeting, someone else presents it. Or your boss reframes the idea as a team outcome. Your name isn't mentioned. Not maliciously, not aggressively, just omitted. Most people freeze here. They look down, they wait for acknowledgement. They hope it corrects itself, and it rarely does. This moment isn't about ego, it's about response timing. Do you calmly reinsert yourself? Just to add context, when I built that framework. Or do you swallow it and tell yourself it's not worth it? Authority doesn't chase credit, but it doesn't disappear either. If you allow recognition to shift away from you repeatedly, you're communicating something dangerous. That you can be repositioned without resistance. Your boss is watching this carefully, because promotion changes visibility. If you can't hold credit at your current level, you won't protect accountability at the next one. The question isn't whether credit moves, it's whether you let it move without correction. That's the third test. The fourth test doesn't happen in a meeting. It happens when workload increases, deadlines tighten, requests stack, scope expands, and your boss watches how you respond. Do you absorb everything without friction? Do you say yes immediately? Do you over-accommodate to prove reliability? That looks like dedication. It isn't. It's containment. Authority doesn't absorb unlimited pressure. It prioritizes. It negotiates scope. It clarifies capacity. If every time demand rises, you simply stretch further, you signal something. That you will carry weight without recalibration. That your boundaries are elastic. Elastic boundaries don't get promoted. They get relied on. There's a difference. A boss assessing leadership potential isn't just asking, can they work harder? They're asking, can they manage constraints without collapsing? If you never push back on unrealistic scope, you're not showing strength. You're showing compliance. And compliance is useful, but it isn't authority. That's the fourth test. The final test happens publicly. Pressure is high. Something goes wrong. A client is unhappy, a deadline slips, a decision is questioned, and attention turns toward you. This is where authority either consolidates or collapses. Some people rush to explain. They defend every detail. They try to manage perception in real time. Others get quiet, not passive, controlled. They acknowledge the issue. They state what happens next. They don't perform anxiety. Your boss is watching this closely. Because authority isn't tested when things go right. It's tested when things destabilize. If scrutiny makes you reactive, you're signaling that pressure controls you. If scrutiny sharpens you, you signal something else, that you can be trusted when the environment turns hostile. This test often decides the outcome because leadership roles are pressure roles. If you can't hold yourself together when the room tightens, you won't be given a seat where it happens regularly. That's the fifth test. Promotion isn't a reward for effort. It's a decision about risk. When someone moves up, they gain visibility, influence, autonomy, and exposure. Your boss isn't just asking whether you can perform. They're asking whether giving you authority will create instability. Every one of those 5 tests answers that question. Do you shrink when interrupted? Do you fold under pushback? Do you disappear when credit shifts? Do you overabsorb pressure? Do you unravel under scrutiny? If the answer is yes, well, even subtly, the decision is already forming. Not loudly, not maliciously, quietly. Authority is rarely granted to the most skilled person. It's granted to the most stable one. The one who holds posture when friction appears. The one who doesn't leak insecurity under pressure. The one who can occupy space without apology. If you've been overlooked, it may not be about output. It may be about signals, and signals can be adjusted, but only if you see them clearly. Now you do. If you care about authority in professional environments, not just performance. Subscribe. This channel is about understanding the mechanics behind power, status, and advancement. Because skill gets you hired, authority gets you promoted.